Most people overcomplicate email. Walls of text, no direction, and no reason to click, and then they wonder why no one replies to their emails. The content of an email is only half the battle. The structure, the pacing, the way you say things can actually make all the difference between getting ignored and booking clients. In this video, I'll walk you through a simple 4-step framework for writing emails to your list that actually get replies and clicks. Let's get into it. All right, so here's the framework. Super simple, 4 steps, and it goes like this. The first one is to write a simple, short, attention-grabbing subject and preview line, but it must grab attention. The whole point of the subject line and the preview line, which is a little bit of gray text that comes after the subject line in the inbox, the whole point of these is to grab attention, nothing else. We just need to get people to click it. So the subject line should be solely focused on grabbing people's attention. Second one is to build interest in the first few lines of the email. So basically, we don't just want to catch their attention. Once they click on it, we need to give them a reason to keep reading. So the first few lines should really reel them in and get them to kind of get into the rhythm of actually reading the email. The third one is to deliver actual value the reader cares about. So show them that as they're reading it, they're actually getting something out of it that they actually care about. And then finally, add a quick call to action in the PS section. So the reason I put the call to action in the PS section is because people typically don't like where the sole purpose of the email is just to sell you something. So putting the call to action in the PS section is really more subtle. It's a softer sell and it's more palatable for most people. Now, every now and then you can add a email which is just a call to action to book a call or whatever it is. But in general, if you want to do this every day, if you're sending daily broadcast emails, putting it in the PS section is a great move because it doesn't turn people off right away. Okay, with that, I'm going to show you how we can write one of these emails. All right, so we're going to jump into Ambit. Ambit's the platform we're going to be using to build this email. It's a platform I built to help client businesses make their marketing as streamlined and simple as possible. So I'm going to jump over and click New Broadcast. And if you want to follow along with me, there's a link in the description to get started for free. But here we have a new broadcast. And you can see I can just schedule this and send it out to my list whenever I want. So let's go through and use this framework to build out one of these emails. So a short, attention-grabbing subject and preview line. So first thing I have to decide is what's the email going to be about. And in this case, I'm actually going to write an email about the very same framework I'm showing in this video. So we're going to deliver this framework in the email itself. So that the step 3 to deliver actual value is going to be this exact framework. So short, attention-grabbing subject and preview line. So I'm going to go with something that really, it creates curiosity, because curiosity is one of the best emotions to create when you're trying to get people's attention. So what I'll go with is most emails get ignored when they skip this. Okay, and then the preview line, which comes after the subject line, is a 4-part framework I use a 4-part framework that you can steal. I use it every time. Okay, so a few things here. This word ignored grabs people's attention because it's a very harsh and kind of emotionally charged word. And 4-part framework, when people see this number, like numbers tend to grab people's attention, and then the word steal also has a negative connotation, so it grabs people's attention. So there's a bunch of elements in the subject and preview line that are really going to reach out to people and grab their attention. And then once they click on the email, we need to reel in their interest in the first few lines. So the way we're going to do that is by telling a story. Stories are a great way to build interest. So I'll say hi name, and I'll just use the name from my CRM there. I have a confession. And so that first line right there is meant to get people reading, right? When someone says, I have a confession, well, in the reader's mind, the first question that comes up is, what's the confession? I have to know. So by starting an email off with a line like, I have a confession, it really gets people to pay attention and to read the next line. Notice I'm putting white space in between every single thing I write here so that it paces out the email and doesn't ask the reader to read like a full paragraph or block of text at any point in time. And the confession is, my emails used to suck. And I'll make this bold and italic so it really stands out. So, hi name, I have a confession. My emails used to suck. I remember, I'm going to back this up, the first few broadcast emails I wrote. They were terrible. And then I'll elaborate on that with a bullet point list. Long blocks of text, little to no value, and just boring. And then we'll quantify it. And the result, as expected, 0 opens, 0 clicks, 0 calls booked. And let me just make this bold as well. And I use the bold to get people to realize like there's something more to the email. Like when you first land on an email, you probably see this bold line here, but then in your mind you see there's something bold down there also. So you think, oh, it might be actually worth reading the whole thing, right? Because bold it breaks up the rhythm a little. So I like to space out the bold so it makes the reader, want to keep going through the whole email. Okay, I'll say, but now I consistently get 80% open rates and 40% click rates. And you want to use real numbers here, but if I'm imagining I am an online service provider or service business like a coach, consultant, or agency, and I'm targeting people who want to write better emails, I want to back it up with numbers that I know can actually get. Okay, what changed? And this is now where we've pretty much completed the second step of the framework. Build interest in the first few lines of the email. So we did that here, right? I have a confession, my emails used to suck. This whole part is to build interest, is to get people reading, right? And then this one also builds interest, which is, okay, well, things completely turned around for me. At first, it was terrible. I had terrible results, and then suddenly, but now I have 80% open rates and 40% click rates. So what changed? And then I discovered a simple framework for writing amazing emails that convert every time. And I want to give it away for free to you. I'll say give it away to you for free. And I'll put a little smiley face. Here it is. Just straight to the point. I'm going to underline that one too, so that becomes like the main section of the email. We can also use headings if we like a heading 1, here it is. But I'll just go with the underline for now. Okay, so we'll do a numbered list here. Short, and I'll just copy in the framework from here. Let me just copy it. Save time. All right, short, attention-grabbing subject. Preview lines, build interest in the first few lines of the email, deliver actual value the reader cares about, add a quick CTA in the PS section. I'll say this framework took me from 0 to 10 clients in under 2 months. And guess what? This email uses it too. And another smiley face. So here we're really just delivering the value, and we're backing up the framework by saying it actually worked, right? If we want to add social proof, it's another thing we can do to make it believable and make it feel more valuable. All right, tomorrow I'll be diving deeper into the first one, into each step. Stay tuned, Gabe. All right, so this is it. And then the final step, again, is the quick call to action in the PS section. So PS, if you want to write better emails, currently offering free consultations for the first 5 people who book a call each week. And I'll say 3 out of 5 spots left, or however many spots I actually have left. If you're interested, click here to book a call. And then we'll link this out to our Calendly link, calendly.com/mylink. Okay, and I'll just make that bold. And so this is the whole framework, right? Attention grabbing, subject line and preview line, interest building in the first few lines of the email, deliver actual value that helps people that we want to be reading the email, and then add the CTA, call to action, in the PS section. So in this case, to book a call. And another thing is some readers just jump straight to the bottom of an email, especially if they see a PS there. So some readers might read this and go straight down to the PS and read that first. And so putting it in the PS has a dual benefit there. If you put it right in the middle, people might miss it, people who don't read the whole email through. But yeah, so this is it. Again, when we're ready, we can just go ahead and hit schedule. I can either send it now or I can send it to, I'm going to schedule it for a date in the future. One more thing, I can jump back into Ambit and go to campaigns and analytics and broadcasts. And I can see for each of my broadcast emails how many deliveries, opens, clicks, open rate, click-through rate for each one. So I can try out different strategies and see how they work. So if you're interested in a clean, simple email writer for sending emails to your list, Ambit is currently offering a 30-day free trial that gives you everything you need to turn clicks into clients. That link is in the description. Aside from that, thanks for watching, keep killing it, and have a wonderful day.